to the ani. So, does he reach his hand out and put it in his hand, but then he might be chayav for the malacha he did, but now, and it really comes down to that if they do it. If he only did part of it, and then the ani did part, he didn't fully perform a malacha. But I think just on this mission, there's a much bigger question that you have to ask. And it's, if an ani comes to your house and he has no food to eat on Shabbat, why didn't you invite him in the house? Why did you invite the poor man to come eat? Why is he standing right on your doorstep and you're trying to figure out the appropriate way how to give him food?
But that's because we learned this, this week. Remember the Chagigah.
So he might have saved, I guess, each other from whether that he didn't violate the malacha of transferring an object on Shabbat. But what about something that was bein adam lechavero? He maybe didn't fulfill the obligation of honoring and really the mitzvot between men. So, and this hits home especially now, as it's very funny that I'm doing this Siyum right before Rosh Hashanah, and that's basically a very big lesson for Rosh Hashanah. We can dot all our I's and cross all our T's when it comes to fulfilling the mitzvot of bein adam l'makom, and we can do tshuva for that. Fine, Hashem gets us. Hashem gave us a certain nature. Hashem understands we're human beings. Obviously, we mess up sometimes, but Hashem can't forgive us for bein adam l'chavero. That's up to us. We have to ask for tshuva from our friends. We have to remember what we did wrong and we offended someone, whatever it may be. So, and back in the case in the Mishnah, where was the achnasat orchim? It didn't exist. So the Orach Chaim HaKadosh said that since the creation of the world, there has never been a Shabbat without at least one person keeping Shabbat properly. For whatever occurred that there wasn't one Shabbat that was being kept, there would be no such thing as the week being sustained. It's impossible. So, and then were it not for Shabbat, Adam Rishon would have died, and he descended into Gehenna, and because he wouldn't have done Shuvah. But now in the merit of Shabbat, Hashem changed the understanding of the verse. For on the day you eat of it, you shall surely die. That was the verse. But now there's a question. Instead of a day of Adam Rishon's life, it was now read as a day of Hashem's life. What's Hashem? A day in Hashem? It's 1,000 years. And that's the only reason why Adam was able to do tshuva. And like it says in Masechet Eruvin, Adam Rishon was very pious. And once he understood that he has caused the penalty of death, he sat in fasting for 130 years. So it was really only because of Shabbat. And Hashem saw this. Well, Shabbat is intervening on behalf of man. That's it. I'm going to take him under my wing. He doesn't have one day to do tshuva because now he wouldn't be alive. I'm going to give him 1,000 years. 1,000 years. So, and because of whatever is shown, each Shabbat continually gives people that are, God forbid, in Gehenna a recess. And that's why, they say like no one ever suffers in Gehenna on Shabbat. So, and there's a big question. The verse says, on the day you eat of it, you shall die. So, but really, if you think about it, Adam Rishon should have died on Friday. He ate before Shabbat started. It says the day you eat of it. So, how did Shabbat complain that you're dying? Like he's getting killed on the most holy day of everything. Really, it's Friday. It's not Shabbat. It's not the most holy day. So that's a big question. What's pshat? So there's an answer. I saw from the Shevet Musar and Midrash Talpiot, the author, the great Kabbalist Rabbi Eliyahu Hal-Tamari.
Eliyahu HaKohen HaItamari.
Yeah.
So Izmir.
So he gives a very nice answer. It says Adam Rishon was banished from Gan Eden on the 12th hour of the 6th day. But since there's the mitzvah of Tosefet Shabbat, you always add to Shabbat. You add to the holiness. It's like this occurred on Shabbat itself. So then, that's obviously a very big lesson. So Shabbat, when Shabbat said that, why are you doing this on my day, Hashem? Shabbat was right. So during the 6th day of creation, no one was punished, and with meter starting, that's what Shabbat said. So this is obviously a very big lesson, and the importance of us showing Hashem how much we want Shabbat early, and we have to let it finish late, and really to not just rush out of the Kedusha, like the Rav always tells us, you have to appreciate it, and you have to be upset that it's leaving, not just jump in the car the second it's over like it never happened. And that's almost Rosh Hashanah. It says also in Masechet Shabbat, it says, Kol haneh amid yesh mirabah b'kol kocho korim lo gzar dino. So whoever says, amid yesh mirabah, may the name of Hashem be blessed for all eternity with all his might, it's like the bad decrees get erased from him. But and that's like a very big thing when you think, like, whenever we answer Kaddish and Shul, wherever we may be, are we just saying it like robotically? We said literally here, we say for on Rosh Hashanah, Tshuva, Tefillah, Tzedakah, erase, help you erase the bad decrees. But here we're saying there's another thing. When you answer Amin Hishmerah with Kavana, and then so there's a question like, but we say B'kol Kocho, that really means with all your force. But then there's an answer that says you shouldn't say it to an amount that people are gonna laugh, that you're screaming over everyone. But really, so the way I interpreted it was that really you should feel it when you're saying it. So, and then there's last thing I'll leave off on. I was listening to Shiur last week, and someone asked one time Rav Victor Miller a question: what should I be thinking, and how should I be feeling as Rosh Hashanah is approaching? So Rav Victor Miller answered him, just one word. He just said, smile. That's all he said. And why? Because Hashem has rachmim. Hashem is the judge, not the guy that you hit his car and he wants you to pay for the damage and whatever it is. It's Hashem. Hashem literally has rachmim on every single thing that we do if we go and search for it. So it's really very big, pleasure to do Masechet Shabbat, and I'll just finish up quick. It says, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav Yehuda said name of Rav, Hilkti Tanai Ta Ben Shnei Batim. There was a narrow alley between two houses, V'tumah Ita Sham, and there was tuma from a corpse. There is impurity in the alley. So then it says, V'gigit Sdukav Nuchat Al Gaban, and a cracked barrel rested upon the two houses, sheltering over the corpse. Upaku et hamor b'tafiach, and before the person died, they shuttered the window of the house with an earthenware flask, so that the tumah wouldn't transmit and wouldn't be forbidden for them. They would not everyone would become tumah. V'kashru et hamkeda b'gemi, then they tied an earthenware vessel with a strand of reed grass. L'idei im yesh sham bagigit potech tefach imlav, to determine whether or not there was a handbreadth sized opening in the barrel. And from their words, we learn that we may shutter, measure, and tie on Shabbat. This is the source. Ula happened to go to the house of the Rish Galuta exilarch, Chazil Rabba Baravuna, and he saw Rabba Baravuna, who was sitting in a tub of water on Shabbat, and he was measuring it. Amrale, so Ula said to Ravuna, when did the rabbi say that one is allowed to measure on Shabbat? You're not allowed to measure. So how are you measuring the water on Shabbat? So what is it? Mitzvah. Only if it's measuring performs the purpose of a mitzvah. They love mitzvah but if it's not for a mitzvah, miyamor, did they say that it's permitted? Rabbi Ravuna answers, I am merely busying myself, but I'm not measuring for any purpose. V'sal kala Masechet Shabbat. Hadran alach Masechet Shabbat v'adra chalan. Datan alach Masechet Shabbat v'data chalan. Lo nitnashe minav.